It is the 41st millennium. Mankind battles for survival across the universe, besieged on all fronts by the heretic, the mutant, and the alien. In the grim darkness of the far future, there is only war. One faction of Space Marines stands amidst the chaos, the mightiest of the Emperor's warriors, and a beacon of light in the darkness. This legion, the 9th Legion of Adeptus Astartes, the Blood Angels.
Hey, hello, good evening, guys. I know it's a bit earlier than normal, sorry. My daughter isn't in bed tonight, so I have a limited time to get the show done and then get her to bed. So, yeah, a little bit of a change of plan, I'm afraid. So, we'll probably do like one less list tonight. But good evening. Welcome to the Blood Angels Army List show. We were in a weird situation in the meta, we all know that. Armor is super powerful. We did a video on Friday about armor beating everybody. If you can hear me, someone in chat, please shout out that you can hear me okay, because no one said anything yet. So I guess it's because I'm at a weird time. But someone got the Twitch notification. Great, brilliant. Hello, Benno, what's happening? Iritus, yes. Say what? Yeah, say anything. That'll work. Good evening, guys. So I want to jump right into it tonight, because like I said, I'm on limited time. So let's start with Mexican Ninja 007. I mean, if you're a ninja and 007 and Mexican, sounds pretty crazy. Let's get into this list. Let me put a light on in here so you can actually see the hell. See me, see my ugly mug. Alright, okay. This is the list is called Defenders of Baal, 2,000 points, and this is a Gladiator Strike Force. So he has got the captain of the jump pack, who's got the Relic Shield and the Thunder Hammer. I'm not sure you need a Relic Shield on the captain now. Assuming he's attached to a squad, just give him a pistol, because the shield's only going to come into play when his whole squad is dead. So if that's the case, I mean, he's probably going to die anyway, so I might just give him a pistol. You got a Chaplain on a bike. Do you know what? We haven't really seen anyone playing the Chaplain on a bike. Okay, cool. I wonder what that's attached to. We've got Lamartes. We've got Sanguinary Priest with a jump pack, and we have the Sanguinor. There's quite a lot of characters. 180, what, 35, 415, 575 points on characters. Quite a lot. Hello, Miguel. Hello, Fox. I can't hear to say anything. Okay. I'm not sure what that means. We got a squad of intercessors. We have assault squad with jump packs, and that's a 10-man squad. A couple of eviscerators, a couple of melta guns. This is what we're talking about on stream last night. I really hope that Blood Angels get to hold on to these options for the new jump intercessors. It'd be really sad if the jump intercessors don't really get any eviscerators or melta guns. We have the Baal Predator. All flamer build on the Baal Predator. Cool. We get the 10-man Death Company, 10 Infernal Pistols and Power Fists. I think this is the best way to run the Death Company, but I prefer to run a 5-man. But I mean, he's running the 10-man. Arguably, it's going to be with Lamartes, -1 damage. Maybe there's some play there. I just didn't really see it when I played it. But I was playing pre-nerf Knights, so maybe it's a bit different now. I don't know if I would. 10 Death Company with Lamartes is like 445 points. It's just an awful lot of points. I get that they're -1 damage. I get they've got 6 up, feel no pain. I get it's a lot of Infernal Pistols and Power Fists. I get that they've got lethal hits and you can give them +1 to wound. I mean, it's hard to hide a 10-man squad. It's hard to get all 10 into melee. They're super vulnerable to blast. They're super vulnerable to a lot of the firepower that's here. they also get left out in the open when they kill something. I mean, if someone can win a tournament running like big death balls like this, then maybe I can shut up. But when I see it, I just feel a little bit scared for it. We've got the Gladiator Lancer, of course, that is a brilliant unit. We've got Infiltrator Squad, still very useful at Denial. We've got one squad of Outriders that includes an ATV. So the Chaplain on the bike will lead the Outriders. They'll also have the ATV, and I haven't run my Chaplain on the bike. I actually don't own any ATVs. I used to do for the more classic attack bikes. Chaplain on a bike. I think he does something. I was going to say, maybe it's not on a bike, it's just on bike. Okay, so Chaplain on bike. When this model is in a unit, each time the model makes a wound roll in a melee attack, add 1. Each time this model is selected to shoot, you can select one enemy within 12 inches that is visible to this model. Until the end of the phase, ranged weapons equipped by this model in the unit have devastating wounds ability that target that enemy unit. So the ATV, I was going to say, he's going to have the ATV with a multi-melta to get the potential devastating wounds, but no, he's just got the ATV with the Gatling cannon. I kind of hate that Gatling cannon, honestly. Onslaught Gatling cannon is 8 shots, strength 5. It already has devastating wounds, so it feels like it's a bit of a waste. I think I'd much rather have the multi-melta and hope that we get one shot through and then we roll an 8 and do 8 mortal wounds, right? Because you can advance and shoot these models. If the unit advances, do not make an advance roll. Oh no, you can't. Okay, I thought they could advance and shoot. No, you just get devastating wounds. I think it's the captain that lets you advance and shoot, because the captain on the bike, or captain on bike. Yeah, he gives that's what it is. He gives them assault, which could be cool as well, but I prefer to give devastating wounds here to a Meltagun and hopefully sneak one through for a lot of mortal wounds. We've got a Redemptor Dreadnought, and that kind of rounds out the list. The list feels kind of light on other units, because you've got that big death ball. Basically, the 10-man Death Company and the characters are half your points. Literally, because that's 575. And then the Death Company's 310, so it's not quite half, but 895 points. 10 Death Company plus 5 characters. Man, that's a lot of points. So beyond that, then you have one squad of Intercessors. You've got 10 more Assault Marines with jump packs. I guess they're with the Sanguinary Priest probably and a Captain. So this is like 2 Death Balls. 1 Lancer, 1 Redemptor, and then the bikes. Man, I think this list is going to be very hard to do well with. Highland Phoenix, what's happening? Good evening, Juan. Good evening. What's happening? Hey guys, if you got 2 seconds, please hit the like button on the stream as well. It really does help me out. Yeah, this is an interesting list. Like, it's got, I was going to say 2 10-man jump units, plus infiltrators, plus intercessors, plus those the bikes. The bikes are actually not too bad. 275 points for the bikes, but I don't know. To me, this feels like you're somewhere between 9th and 10th edition list. So it's going to do okay, but I don't think it's super strong. I think it's too many points potentially in characters and 10-man jump units. I suppose it depends on what you play against, but like a lot of enemies can take out 10-man jump units pretty quickly. They are just Marines with a 3-up save. The Castigators from Sisters of Battle will just rip that apart. Anytime you're in the open, they'll get ripped apart. Rapid fire battle cannons from Knights and stuff will just rip those apart. It seems like autocannons, armigers, will also rip those guys apart. The Feel No Pains won't really help because it's 3 damage a shot. I don't know. Maybe Mexican Ninja 007 is the craziest ninja / 007 we've ever seen, and he can play this list to high level, but to me, I think I'd probably be dropping like, I quite like the Chaplain and 5 Death Company with Infernal Pistols, Power Fists. And the Chaplain plus 5 Death Company is like, what, 230 points or something, so basically less than half. You get +1 to wound all the time because the chaplain. You get mortal wounds because you've got the chaplain. And then you could put 200 points in like a second lancer because that's really your only ranged anti-vehicle, or a ballistus dreadnought. Yeah, I think for me, I don't know if I like. Well, I am going to run 10-man jump units anymore. In the games I've played, they die too quickly. There's too many points invested, and then like the 10 assault marines, you're putting a captain and a sanguinary priest with them, so they're 440 points. Yeah, so you've got one jump unit that's 440, and you've got another 435. In my games, they rarely even made, like, they barely even killed 300 points of stuff. They always down traded. Juan says Lamartas isn't worth the points. That's why I'm running the generic chaplain. I think I'm actually using my Lamartas model to just represent a chaplain. Or I think I'm using the old chaplain. Vanguard veterans with priest might be survivable with storm shields. Yeah, I think they might be Highland, but then I probably wouldn't attach the captain as well, because then you're getting into the realms of like, this squad is just too expensive. I think assault marines are the best jump units. I think Death Company are close second, and because Assault Marines are getting deprecated, then I think Death Company with Infernal Pistols and Power Fists are okay. I think you run them in a 5, and I think you run them with a Chaplain. I think that's the best way to do it. Yeah, I don't think I can say much more about that. Like, it's not. In the games I played, those 10-man units just never performed. Plus, there's a lot of blast stuff that will just eat them up. God help you if you play against like Imperial Guard with all those indirect fire, or even if you play against Desolation Marines. Desolation Marines would just wreck that. It's just a sheer weight of fire 10 Desolation Marines will put out, because like each guy will get like an average of 4 shots from the Castellan. So if they Oath of Moment you and they stand still, you're gonna have to take like so many saves, like just ridiculous amounts of saves. So yeah, I'm not a fan of 10-man units in general at the moment. But if you can make it work, go for it. Also, I'm also not a fan of the Redemptor at all, because I think the plasma cannon is a real strange weapon, right? Like, it kills infantry, fine, but what you really want that plasma cannon to do is like kill some tanks. Like that's kind of the point of Redemptor Dreadnought. It's like anti-armor, but it's not anymore. So I don't know if I like Redemptor Dreadnoughts anymore. I guess if you're planning on using them to kill infantry, fine. But then you need to have like 3 Gladiator Lancers in your list to offset that. Because Redemptor Dreadnoughts are going to do very little against armor. Like, very little. Okay, Bunta 316. This was another list that got submitted to the channel. I know that the other plasma. I know I had another plasma list, but if you could disregard it and review this one instead, I'd be absolutely indebted to you. This is after understanding the metagame so far. Okay, so it's a 1999 or 1990 Gladiators list as well. Okay, so this should be a bit more meta. He hopes it's more meta. So we have a Chaplain with a jump pack who has the Honor Veumont. I don't use this one. Honor Veumont? Oh yeah, that's the one that's like +2 attacks, +2 strength. I guess that'd be okay. It's 1 attack and 1 strength if you're not an Assault Doctrine, and 2 attacks and 2 strength if you are an Assault Doctrine. Okay. I'm not sure I feel like it's brilliant on a Chaplain who's just got a Crozius. The thing about this Chaplain is he can actually take a Power Fist, right? The Chaplain on a jump pack. Not many people realize this, but because he was a super old model, the Chaplain on a jump pack can take a Power Fist. What do you actually have to drop to take the Power Fist? This model's Bolt Pistol can be replaced with the Power Fist. So what's he armed with? A Bolt Pistol and a Crozius. So you can lose the Bolt Pistol, which I think you should 100% do. I should probably do this in my list, actually. So just lose a Bolt Pistol and you've got a Power Fist. So then your Honor Veumont gives you 6 Strength 10 hits at -2 damage. Correct? Hey O'Neill, thank you so much. Why is it Double O'Neill? Double O'Neill? Cool name. You just reminded me of Stargate there for a second. No, I appreciate you. Thanks so much for supporting the channel. Okay, so yeah, I would drop the bolt pistol. I actually should do this in my list. So drop the bolt pistol and take the power fist, especially if you're taking this relic, right? Because that gives you 6 strength 10 hits, which is a lot better than 5 strength 8, probably. I mean, at least it gives you options, and the strength 10 hits have better AP as well, right? So, and it's cool that the power fist still hits on 2-ups. And then I guess those strength 10 hits, because he's a chaplain, get +1 to wound. Yeah, I should be doing this in my list for sure. Okay. I don't know if I'm adding the honor vehement to him, but getting strength 10 and +1 to wound is pretty great. Okay. If you're doing Sons of Sanguinius detachment, that would be strength 11. Anthony, hello, good evening. Alright, we got the Primaris Apothecary who has Bolter Discipline. Of course, he's probably going to attach the Devastator Marines. Todd says it's funny, this list is now a little bit non-meta. Is this your list, Todd? Why did it come? If it is, why is it said it's from Bunta's 316? Strange. Okay, we've got the 10 Assault Marines with jump packs. And I do think 10, like, Assault Marines with jump packs were the best option. They were the best jump unit before they got removed. We've got a Ball Predator, Flamers all round. I still like the Sponson heavy bolters on these, but the Flamer on the main cannon is kind of my preferred option. So Flamer on the main cannon, Sponson heavy bolters is probably how I would play it. You have 2 squads of Death Company, Infernal Pistols, and Power Fists. So I guess one of those is going with the Chaplain. Great. You got the 10 Desolation Marines, all super crack, and then obviously the Vengar Launcher. That's fine. Land Speeder, which gives +1 to hit against what it can see. Annihilator, an Executioner. And do you know what? I missed something with the Executioner when I was looking at the profile. Let me just tell you, because I'm an idiot. When I was looking at the Executioner, I was looking at it going, Heavy Laser Destroyer's only got Ballistic Skill 3 up. But remember, Heavy Laser Destroyer is heavy. And I forgot this. So actually, it's 2 up as long as you remain stationary. So I guess clever positioning on your Executioner is like the most important thing. Okay, I don't know why. Maybe you need to change your YouTube handle or something. But yeah, I kind of forgotten that this had heavy on the main cannon, so it's maybe a little bit better than I thought. So it has the heavy laser destroyer. It can take Iron Tail Stubber. It can take an Icarus rocket pod. It's armed with the heavy Gatling cannon, the defensive array, which is different than the other repulsor. It's just 10. Strength 3, 4 up. A twin heavy bolter, twin Icarus heavy stubber, and then the armored hull. Okay. I mean, I kind of like the Executioner, and each time the model makes an attack against units below half strength, add 1 to the hit roll. So all the other stuff can get +1 to hit as well. You got the Thunderstrike in there to give the potential +1 to wound for all your shooting, which, I mean, is amazing when you combo it with a Repulsor and Desolation Marines, and even an Annihilator, because the amount of blast cannons. And then you've got a Vindicator in there as well, which I've been using is very good as well. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units of armor, the Desolation Marines, the 2 5-man Death Company, and then the 10-man assault jump pack guys, and then the Chaplain who should take the Power Fist. I actually like this list, actually. This is something I would play. I don't know if you can hear my son going apeshit in the background, guys. Can you hear that screaming, or is it bothering you? Okay, so 1, 2, 3, so 4 tanks, and then the Desolation Marines with the Bolter Discipline. Yeah, it's really not bad. Maybe a little bit more infantry than I'm running at the moment, and obviously the Salt Marines are going to change, and maybe this list was from a couple of weeks ago, Todd, so I'm sorry about that I'm only just getting to it now. I was on vacation for like 2, I think I missed 2 or maybe even 3 army list shows at the start of the month when I was away on vacation. Why do you prefer bolters on the Ball Predator? If you use Overwatch, you don't have to roll to hit right, so flamers help. Yeah, I mean, the sponsored flamers are only 12-inch range. So that's my only caveat with them. It's like, I think if you're going to be overwatching, clever opponents are probably not going to end their move 12 inches. Oh, 1 second, I'll be right back. What the hell is going on?
Slowly, slowly on the carpet. Or pretend nothing.
Man, kids, sorry about that. Yeah, so I just think that clever opponents won't finish their move within 12 inches of a Bowel Predator. Whereas 18 inches on the main cannon might be harder to kite around. But I also think that the heavy bolters, remember the Bowel Predator can advance and shoot against infantry. I just think the heavy bolters are going to do more in your turn. And I don't know, my experience of the flamers is like lackluster. Heavy flamers, I think I used a heavy flamer on I think I got 2 heavy flamers on my Death Company Dreadnought, and I've used them a bunch of times. And they never seem to do much. What's the thoughts on the Executioner? Are 2 of those worth it over other armor, Lancer and other things? Well, the Executioner is 230 points. And it's basically got the same weapon as the Lancer. But like if you look at the Heavy Laser Destroyer, I think his Heavy Laser Destroyer is actually slightly better than the Lancer's one, yeah, because it's D6 plus 4. And it might be higher strength as well, ever so slightly. Yeah, so it's D6 plus 4 against D6 plus 3, and it's 2 higher strength. So, I mean, so I guess you're paying like what 85 points, Highland Phoenix, and what are you getting for those 85 points? Are you getting like 4 more wounds, 2 more toughness? Obviously, you're getting the transport capacity as well, which would be probably good for like 3 Blade Guard. You're getting a heavy onslaught cannon. You're getting the repulsor defensive array, and then you're maybe getting like a twin heavy bolter and a twin stubber as well. So normally when we look at things, right, like at least last edition, when you had like 1 more wound and 1 more toughness, GW were typically charging somewhere around 10 points for that. Right? Like, so like if you had the captain on a bike versus a regular captain, he was 10 points more expensive, I think, and he had like 1 more toughness, right? Or 1 more wound. So like if you got 2 more toughness and 4 more wounds, then that's like 30 some points. And then you've got the Gatling cannon, which is like 10 odd points. And you've got the defensive array, which is like a triple storm bolter, and you've got a heavy bolter. And your main cannon is a little bit better, D6 plus 4. Yes, you lose a tiny bit of rerolls. But my experience tells me that toughness 12 vehicles are just so difficult for the opponents to finish off. You know, like even if they got super crack missiles, for example, they're only wounding those vehicles on 5s. I'm basically where I am. I'll tell you where I'm at. I'm waiting for the balanced data slate, and if the Gladiator Lancer goes up in points, I will buy a Repulsor Executioner. If the Gladiator Lancer stays at 145, I'll probably buy a second Lancer, because I think that the Executioner, I think a lot of people are not running Blade Guard in squads of 3s. I've been saying for like a year now, I think Blade Guard in squads of 3s are amazing, and they're the best way to run Blade Guard. Even more so now, where they've got the bonus reliability on their melee combat, and they've got the bonus reliability on their save, depending on what you need. So, yeah, my I don't know. My thought is, like, I'm running a regular repulsor. It's decent. It's 195. Thank you so much for following. Yeah, I think the Executioner has play. I honestly do. I want to try it. I want to. I mean, the more I think about it, the more I just think that the Lancer is going to go up. The Lancer is going to get like a 20-point increase or something because everyone's playing it. And if the Lancer gets a 20-point increase, then the better option is probably going to be the Executioner. And it fits 6. So, I mean, arguably, you know, you could have 2 Executioners with like 3 Blade Guard in each or something. Yeah, it's possible. I don't know. I think it's decent. I really do think it's decent. Okay, so this list, I like this list, right? This list is a good hybrid list. There's like 1, 2, 3, what did I say? 5 units of armor that are taking up like 360, 590, plus this. So you've got about 850 points of armor, but then you've got your 10 Desolation Marine unit, which is like 420 points. They can hide and just indirect stuff and bombard them. It's a little bit sad. After this week, we saw the Librarian and Dreadnought comboed with the Desolation Marines to win tournaments. That's pretty cool. But this is actually... I think, like, if I was gonna run infantry heavy, because this is slightly infantry heavy over armor heavy, I think this is probably how I would do it. Right, like, the 5-man squad's a Death Company. Technically, the 10 Desolation Marines are infantry. And then hopefully these Assault Marines get replaced with Jump Intercessors, right? I dislike how the Executioner's Twin Heavy Bolter cannot be exchanged to Twin Las Cannon. Yeah, I mean, sometimes they do that. Andonia says, just finished up a game run, Sons of Sanguinius against Space Gladiatus and lost by about 20 VP. Made some dumb mistakes, still getting used to running vehicles. If you're going to run a lot of vehicles, Andonius, you probably want to run Gladiatus. It's just much more flexible with vehicles. Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot you can see. Like, I know people, I know a lot of people want to run Sons of Sanguinius, but there's definitely like many more people are on board with running Gladiatus. It just seems like it's slightly stronger. I think Gladiatus probably will stay slightly stronger until we get our Codex, whenever that may be, I guess. All right, Todd. Well, thanks for the list. I hope I've said something useful. Tell me, Todd, what did you swap out, or what are you thinking of swapping out? I guess the Land Speeder and the Assault Marines you have to start thinking about swapping out because they're not going to last forever. But I do like both of them in the list, and I do like the buffs that they give. Yeah, it's what it is. Andonia says I could run Gladiatus. Yeah, I get you. I'm 4 wins in a row on Gladiatus, trying to make it 5 this week. So, alright, let's look at Chris Bailey's list. He says, here's a stab at getting Blood Angels and melee hitting above their weight. See his reply for the setup. Alright, so this is your Sons of Sanguinius list. Let's see. It's a captain with a jump pack, with I was going to say a pretty average loadout, just the Mastercrafted bolt gun and the chainsword. I would not run a captain with a jump pack like this personally. I would give him probably a Power Fist now. I feel like is probably the best option, because the Thunderhammer will take less attacks, right? 5 attacks hitting on 3s, whereas the Power Fist 5 attacks hitting on 2s. Yeah, I'd probably take the Power Fist. And I'd probably take an Infernal Pistol unless you desperately want to take the Relic Shield, but I don't think there's much weight in a Chainsword and Mastercrafted Bolt Gun. We've got a Lieutenant with a Bolt Pistol and a Combi Weapon. Is that new Lieutenant? He's got another Lieutenant with a Plasma Pistol and a Power Fist, and then he's got Primaris Tech Marine. Do you know what? I'm just going to run through it and then see, and then the Sanguinary Priest with a Jump Pack. Okay, and then he's got a Rhino. So we've got an Assault Squad, so this is 10 Assault Marines on foot, 1 Eviscerator, Infernal Pistol, another Eviscerator, a couple of Plasma Pistols. We've got 10 Assault Marines with Jump Packs, an Eviscerator times 2, Melta Gun times 2, Infernal Pistol, Thunderhammer, and the Shield. We've got a Drop Pod. We have... This is 9 Hellblasters. I don't know how we can have 9 anymore. I thought you had to have them in 10s. Unless you... Yeah, it must be 10, surely. We've got the couple of Predator Destructors. We've got Repulsor Executioner, we've got the Thunderstrike, and then we've got the Voidsman at Arms, Interesting. And this is a Sons of Sanguinius list. Okay. So 2 10-man squads of assault marines is really the only close combat that we have here. Which is strange, because he says he's going to get Blood Angels melee hitting it above their weight. Well, this is just a lot of chainswords, mainly. You know, these guys don't hit above their weight. The strength of the assault marines is that they do a bunch of mortal wounds when they charge. Adrian, good evening. And then Voidsmen are very good for performing actions. It's good that they have a shotgun, etc., etc. Alright, what did Chris say? The captain with the Sanguinary Priest with the assault marines and the jetpack. The lieutenant with plasma, with hellblasters and a drop pod. Can hellblasters go in a drop pod? Okay. Lieutenant with chainsword with assault marines and a rhino. The tech marines with the executioner. Assault squad can give lance to chainswords. Lieutenant gives fallback, shoot and charge. 2 eviscerators give 4 up against toughness 15. The drop pod restricts enemy movement unless hellblasters. Lieutenant give fallback to shoot if charged. Hellblasters shoot on death. The jump pack squad from Red Rampage for the captain for free. Lance lethal hits can fall back and charge. Relentless assault and additional AP for the Sanguinary Priest. Okay, I'm not sure what I think of this list. A couple of Predator Destructors is fine. The Repulsor Executioner, we just talked about it, especially with a Thunderstrike, I think is decent, and having a Tech Marine is fine. Hellblasters are very anti-infantry based, which is cool for killing infantry, but I guess so are a shitload of Assault Marines with chainswords. You've got like 4 las cannons, and then the repulsor's heavy las cannon, I guess. And then you got the Voidsman for actions and stuff like this. And he's playing this as Sons of Sanguinius. So we're playing this with like +1 attack, +1 strength for the chainswords. What do people think of this? Do they like this list? I've been running 2 Destructors for a few weeks now, and they usually perform reasonably decently. He's paying for 10 but running 9 for transporting. Yes, I didn't even realise, honestly, that Hellblasters could go inside a drop pod. There's too many points in Lieutenants. Fallback and charge for Lieutenants is cool. I guess lethal hits is cool, but you know what? I'll just have a quick look at Hellblasters. I'm guilty of not giving them a proper look at, even though I've got 10 of them fully painted. Why have I... Let me see what Hellblasters... I'm not convinced, though, with Hellblasters. They are... assault... So they're similar to... So they can assault, or they can stand still, but if you're coming out of drop pod, you're doing neither of those 2 things. So it's just 9 guys with 2 shots of plasma, so it's 18 shots of plasma. Strength 7 minus 2/1 damage. Yeah, cool. They kill infantry. They potentially shoot on death, but they don't do a whole lot over that. Surf Song, good evening. Phil, good evening. How are you guys? Lieutenants with the Hellblasters, yes. Why they pay the points for the drop pod when you can strategically reserve them instead? That's probably a very good point. I mean, unless you're trying to drop pod them turn 1, but if you were drop podding them turn 1, I feel like you want more of a threat than like strength 7 plasma. And yeah, you can strength 8 plasma, I guess. But even then, I don't think that's killing very much. It's killing infantry. It's doing jack shit against tanks, and most people are bringing lots of tanks. Would Inceptors probably be better? I think you're probably right, Island Phoenix. Inceptors would be better because this is 320 points. You could run like 3 squads of Inceptors. You could literally drop one down in turn 2 and drop one down in turn 3 and drop another one down in 2 or 3 onto objectives and just open up with their plasmas. The heavy bolters or they're not called heavy bolters, but the bolter version of the Inceptors is actually really good as well because the sustained hits too. So I think I would lose all this for the Inceptors. I think you're right. 2 squads of Voidsmen is hard to argue with. They'll just score you points. The Assault Marines with jump packs. I think when you attach both a Sanguinary Priest and a Captain, they become too expensive. Like, I think you can attach one character to these Assault Marines. I think if you attach, like, I tried these guys. I tried multiple different 10-man units. I've tried Death Company in 10-man with -1 damage from Lomartes, didn't like it. I tried this exact squad with a Captain and a Sanguinary Priest, didn't like it. I think I tried another game where I just had 10, that was it, 10 Assault Squad guys led by, like, just a Captain on their own, didn't like it. So I just don't like 10-man infantry squads. It's too hard to get the back rows into combat now, I feel like. And yeah, he's paying for 10 Hellblasters, but he's only bringing 9, which is technically valid, but it's kind of weird. You're just throwing 30 points in the bin or something like that. Yeah, I much prefer the last list, which was Todd's list with the 5 Death Company, 5 Infernal Pistols, 5 Power Fists, led by like a Chaplain with a Power Fist. I think is much better. It's cheaper, it's less susceptible to blast. You'll be able to get everybody into combat when you do make a charge. Death Company get full hit rerolls. The only reason to make this a 12-man squad is because it gives you a chance to do more mortal wounds. But I think you'll be able to make one charge, and then the squad's probably going to have to be lifted off the board because people will kill toughness 4 Marines with no invuln pretty darn quick. Like, you'll lose the whole squad in a turn. If you're not losing the whole squad in a turn, then you're playing a terrible, really uncompetitive list. Yeah. So I also don't know if I don't know if I like lieutenants anymore. Like, I don't know if I even really liked them last edition much when you could reroll all your ones, but now I just think they're like lethal hits and fall back and shoot. Or charge too, I suppose, when you fall back. But yeah, I don't know if I like lieutenants either. I really don't know if I like them. This is a tough list for me to review. And this is a Sons of Sanguinius list as well, so he's counting on those 2 10-man squads of Assault Marines doing most of the work. I think the reason I don't like lieutenants is because I play Gladius. And if I need to fall back and shoot, I'll just say Tactical Doctrine, and if I'm really desperate to fall back and shoot, I'll just pay 1 CB for Adaptive Strategy and put that unit into Tactical Doctrine. And I think Adaptive Strategy, I keep wanting to call it Adaptive Strategy. Maybe, I don't think it's called Adaptive Strategy anymore. It's called... Oh, it is called Adaptive Strategy, yes. So, you just put any unit into any doctrine whenever you need it for 1 CP. And I think if you're playing Gladius, you know, if you've got a really good shooting unit in combat, you're just going to fall back and shoot, right? So it's like, I think it makes lieutenants seem worthless to me. But maybe even Blood Angels have that same strat, don't they? It's just called not Aggressive Onslaught. It's called Relentless Assault. Yeah. So, but even Blood Angels have a fallback and shoot and declare a charge strat. That's weird. Relentless Assault says your unit is eligible to declare a charge even if you fell back. Whereas Tactical Doctrine says this unit is eligible to shoot and declare a charge when it fell back. So in the Blood Angels Relentless Assault, you're not eligible to shoot? Is that right? So is the Blood Angels one just worse than the Space Marine one there? Probably, because they always screw Blood Angels, don't they? How are you playing? Can you shoot with Relentless Assault? Someone tell me in chat. Serve Song says you can fall back and charge but not shoot. Ugh. Another reason why Gladiatus is better, yeah. God damn it, Games Workshop. That's just poor unifying of the rules writing. That should be the same rule. That's just 2 different people read those rules, or sorry, 2 different people wrote those rules and they never talked to each other. How annoying. I mean, I think I've only played like 2 games of I was going to say, have I used this wrong? I might have. Most of my games have honestly been Gladius, because I just thought Gladius, every time we look at it, it seems like Gladius is better. Star Song says he played it wrong. Okay. Okay, so yeah, I guess I'm really not in love with this final list. I don't dislike like taking a rhino to put units in and getting them across the board. I think armor definitely has a role now. I don't dislike impulsors either. Not that this list has an impulsor, but I don't mind that either. I think those vehicles with OC and with firing, what they call firing decks, I think they're pretty cool. But I think the drop pod is a mistake here with the Hellblasters. Maybe a 5-man Hellblaster and an Impulsor would be just better if you really desperately want to run Hellblasters. You could probably do a 5-man with an Impulsor and almost still have the points for a squad of Inceptors. And then I think for your Assault Marines, yeah, sure, have the big squad because of the mortal wounds, but I don't think the smaller squad on foot is very good. And again, you're not. If you're gonna run Assault Marines on foot, then I feel like you want to be in Gladiatus detachment because you can advance and charge. Whereas if you're running Assault Marines and Blood Angels, there's no way to advance and charge, right? So if there's no way to advance and charge, then it's kind of the reason that I'm running Gladiator, because I'm running Centurions, and Centurions move 4 inches. So if I was running Blood Angels, yes, it's cool that Centurions get extra attacks. They're never going to get into combat because they only move 4 inches. You need to be able to advance and charge, right? Wait for the data sheet in a few weeks. Yeah, well, I mean, we'll do a million videos after the data sheet comes out. Blue the Magician for sure. Highland Phoenix says he's interested in Mephiston leading Starguard, potentially a Primaris champion doing the same, hiding character melee in shooting. I mean, I've been tempted to run the Sternguard myself just because of the amount of mortal wounds they can put out. If you want to buy stuff now, buy Primaris. Yes, I think. I don't know how much legitimacy this has, but I saw a post the other day on the internet basically saying that like there's a plan in Games Workshop to phase out all the Firstborn. They just want rid of all of them now. So, like, everything that is Firstborn is going to be phased out. I don't know how much I believe that, but the fact that they just phased out, like, all the Forge World stuff and, like, a ton of other Firstborn stuff makes me think that, yes, at some point, we'll have all that, like, it'll all be gone. S-Fish says, I'm starting Blood Angels, and at the moment I've just the starter set. What should I buy next? You should watch my video I made last week about best Primaris units. Just search Blood Angels best Primaris units on YouTube and watch that video and pick any of them, because I think I picked like the 5 best. I was going to say, how can I even show you it? I can show you the thumbnail. So just look for this video here. Top 5 Primaris units. I mean, literally put it in the chat for you in case you can't find it. There you go. But yeah, if you don't know what to buy next, watch this video and that should help you decide. But I basically say in that video, like, avoid Firstborn because it seems like they're not going to last too much longer. Okay, alright. Like I said, I didn't have a lot of time tonight. I had to do this a bit earlier because my kids aren't asleep. I need to go now and start bedtime and put my kids to sleep, guys. So I was going to say thank you so much for coming and hanging out tonight. I know this stream has been all over the shop recently. I guess hopefully we're going to get a balanced slate soon. I really want them to do something about armor, but I think it'll go two ways. They're either going to overly nerf armor, or they're going to make infantry much better, or they're just going to leave it and it's going to be an edition where armor is just the best thing that's in sliced bread, I guess. So, yeah, take it as you may. If you enjoyed tonight's video, please hit the like button, guys. And if there's any final questions, ask them now, because you've got like 1 more minute, and then I'm going to go put my kids to bed. Werty jumps in with a super chat just for a second. Hey, Werty, good evening. How are you? See, that's the thing, though, right? Like, it's not tricky. Like, people say it's tricky for Blood Angels. Like, it's not tricky. We just have to run some, like, really janky, armor-heavy lists. And then it becomes completely untricky. Because, like, arguably, I've only played 4 games with armor, Highland Phoenix, right? And I've won all 4. But, like, in 9th edition, I never really played many games with armor. Okay, it's tricky to find a list in the Blood Angels archetype. Yeah, sure, okay. It's I wouldn't say it's tricky. I'd say it's impossible. It's impossible to build, like, a tournament-winning list that has, like, 40 jump units in it. I think that's impossible. But I think it's very easy to build a tournament-winning list that has a bunch of armor or Desolation Marines. I actually really like the guy's idea of jumping 10 Desolation Marines around the board with Oath of Moment and the Librarian Dreadnought. I think that's actually super crazy and cool and strong. So, Blue the Magician just had to get the football jibe in there. Yeah, I'm aware of the football scores yesterday. Thank you. Thanks for reminding me of my horrible afternoon yesterday. Surf Song says 2 Vindicators, 2 Armigers, 3 times 5 jump DC, 1 times Sanguinary Guard, a Chaplain, and 2 times Intercessors. Yeah, I mean, that's possibly okay. I do like the idea of including some Armigers in the Blood Angels list as well, because when you side-by-side Armigers against, like, I need to make that. I keep wanting to. I need to give myself a reminder to make that video. Like, Armiger side by side. It's just a, like, question about the balance. Like, the balance on Armigers makes no sense. Alright, I'm going to take off, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Leave a like. I'll catch you Wednesday night. We're going to be live against Miles Nids. My list is going to win its 5th game on the trot. And then I think I'm ready to start thinking about going to a tournament. But yeah, no, I think Armigers probably need to go up 20 points per model. Both the Helverins and the Warglavies. I think they're just too damn good. Enjoy your Sunday night. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you in a... Oh, quick question. What should I use my Blood Angel Sternguard kits for, since there's no heavy flamers for Sternguard currently? Grav Cannons? I think Grav Devastators are about the only thing that I can think of people are using. Someone just... The guy from Friday won the tournament with 5 Grav Devastators for Blood Angels. I think he was teleporting them about with the Librarian Dreadnought as well, to be fair. But hey, maybe you need a Librarian Dreadnought. Maybe you need Devastators. Maybe you need Desolation Marines. I think finding the balance between armor and infantry is very important, and also the tricks that we have right now. So, all right, I'll see you guys soon. Have a good night. Peace.